great pain.
And the evidence isn't bouncing her way.
It's a rubber ball, part of a rubber ball.
Have you ever seen that before?
No.
The dog was in your care.
This is Judge Judy. Lori Gladstone and her husband, Fred Silva, are suing dog daycare owner Shannon Bishop for vet bills as the result of Shannon's negligence.
Judge, this is case number 121 on the calendar in the matter of Gladstone Silva versus Bishop. Parties have been sworn in. Have a seat, please.
Miss Gladstone, you and your husband have this adorable golden doodle puppy, now probably 10 months old.
Yes.
Last month, you were going away for a couple of days. The defendant has a dog boarding service, and it is your claim that owing to the defendant's negligence, your dog ingested a foreign object while at her facility. Your dog had surgery, was in fact a foreign object that was causing a blockage. Your vet bills were over $7,000, and you want the defendant to be responsible for those. That's what the case is about.
Yes, correct.
The defendant has a counterclaim. The defendant's counterclaim is that you never paid for the boarding services, and in addition to that, that you defamed. So, a couple of questions. Have you or have you not used the defendant's services before?
Yes, I have.
For this dog?
Yes.
For any other dog?
No, this is our only dog we ever had.
And you never had a dog
No,
before?
I never had a dog before.
This dog, according to you, also suffers from an irritable bowel syndrome for which it takes medication.
Yes,
Is that
correct.
correct? Prior to October, I think it was 23rd, is that it? October
Yes.
23rd to the 25th?
Yes.
How many times had you boarded your dog, whose name is Bingo, with the defendant?
Twice.
Were those overnight visits?
Yes.
For how many nights?
In June, it was for 5 nights, I believe, and 2 weeks prior to this incident, it was for the exact same time, 2 nights.
And during the period of time in June, there were no incidents. You were perfectly satisfied with her care of your dog.
No, actually, in June, we had traveled out of state. We extended our stay, and our dog actually was on very specific medicine for his IBS. I mean, food. He was on a specific prescribed diet from the vet. And we decided to extend our stay for a couple of days in Mexico, to which I texted Miss Bishop enough food, we'd be staying, and this was the exact food we needed for Bingo. And could she please get that? Would that be possible? A few days later, she texted me that he had been projectile vomiting into other dogs' crates. He had been, he was very ill and needed to go to the vet, and I was in Mexico. I said, I'm not able to do that. She took the dog to the vet as per our request, and at that point, he had a flare-up of his IBS. We were not sure what the cause was. We came home. He was staying at the vet for 2 more nights. We picked the dog up and had to pick up his belongings when we returned, and realized in the crate of items she gave us back, she had indeed replaced his food with a different type of food. That wasn't his prescribed food, which ultimately caused the flare-up in his IBS. He has a very sensitive puppy stomach and needs to be on a very specialized diet. I didn't at that...
That means he should be with his mother.
Right, I didn't...
That means he should be with his mother. And his mother doesn't pack just enough food and then decide to stay in Mexico.
Well, it was a COVID situation at the time, so it was...
If you went in June, that was during COVID.
Well, the dog was in her care and was instructed to give medicine. So, I mean, that was... I entrusted her and her...
Ms. Gladstone, personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. You've never had a pet before. You have a pet now that has, according to you, an illness in a young dog. Irritable bowel syndrome in a young dog is an unusual illness. I've had dogs all my life, so I know it is an unusual illness for a puppy. So listen to what you just told me. You went to Mexico during COVID. You left your puppy with her in June. In what month did you get the dog?
In April.
So you had the dog for, let's say, 8 weeks. During that 8-week period of time, the dog was diagnosed with, because I assume you didn't buy the dog.
No, we adopted the dog. We adopted the dog, and we were not, it wasn't identified his IBS at that point in time.
Well, he should have been, because if you have a puppy that has a problem immediately, then the first thing you do is take it to a vet within the first week within the first 5 days, especially if you adopted the dog. What I'm telling you is this is what you just told me. You got a puppy. The puppy was sick. You went to Mexico in June for 5 days. You weren't supposed to be there for 5 days. You extended your stay, but you only provided the sitter for enough food for 2 days. You extended needs for its stomach. According to you, she didn't get it, which would have said to me as a pet owner, you know what? The dog was sick. When it came back from her, she returned the dog in the crate. She told me that the dog was sick.
No, she
I'm
didn't.
Not leaving
she
my
didn't
dog
take
again
the dog.
with her.
No,
I'm-
she
just-
took... Okay.
She told you the dog was sick and projectile vomiting into other dogs' crates, and she took it to a vet. So, according to you, when you got the crate back, you saw that she didn't get the food that you asked her to get for you. So what did you do? You went away again and left your dog again with her.
But there was a period I
Miss
didn't
Gladstone,
use her. I didn't use her for a long period of time.
Your Honor?
Well, just a second. Did you use anyone else?
Yes, we did. We had my
Well, why didn't
husband's
you go
best
back?
friend's
Just-
daughter.
Miss
Because
Glad-
then it became...
Miss Gladstone, you're not following me. If I leave my child with a babysitter and I've given specific instructions to the babysitter and the instructions are not followed, I don't use that babysitter again. Because you did leave the dog again with her twice.
Right. I wasn't dissatisfied with her to that degree. I did not think anything like this could possibly occur. You're absolutely right.
Well,
and
just a
since
second,
then,
you
I
just
used
told-
her.
you-
I used
Miss-
her for day sitting. I used her for she does dog walking during the day. A lot of the dogs in the neighborhood go to 3 or 4. I used her so that the dog could play with his friends and other dogs at her house, and I didn't feel like there would be an issue. So after time,
Well, that's what
we were going.
Miss Gladstone, pay attention. I asked you when you used her before. My question to you was a simple one when you went off. I said, when you used her before, because you said you had, were you satisfied? You said to me, not really. When I left her in June, and you proceeded to tell me the whole story.
Well, I had questions
So you said to me-
because I had
you said
questions
to
in the
me
back of my
I
mind
wasn't
that I
satisfied.
couldn't prove. I couldn't prove
well,
it.
I said to you, were you satisfied? You said no. And if you weren't satisfied, I wouldn't have left my dog again. Anyway, what your whole lawsuit is about is that you claimed that while the dog was in her care, the third time you left the dog with her on an overnight stay, and in between you had let her walk the dog, day sit the dog, and I assume continue to be satisfied, and other people in your neighborhood do the same thing, and according to you, that goes to her countersuit. You say that the dog required surgery. On what day did the dog require surgery? Was that the day you came home?
The day we chose to bring him to the vet the day after we came home, because right here, if you'd like to see.
I don't read letters from a vet.
Okay, well, the vet
I
said
read
that he
medical
ingested
reports.
an
I
object.
mean, you
It's a
can't
medical
tell me-
report.
you
No, it's a
cannot-
medical report. This is a page from the medical report.
Just a second. I will absolutely read a medical report, not a letter.
Oh, no, I'm
Not a
sorry. I
letter. Not a
apologize.
to whom it
It's
may
a page
concern.
from the-
Not
no,
a to whom
no,
it may
no, no.
concern letter.
This is a medical
Yeah,
report.
right. Okay. Where did you go on October 23rd
Palm
to 25th?
Springs. We drove to Palm Springs for 2 nights.
Okay. When you came home from Palm Springs,
No,
you came home on
Miss
the
Shannon
25th. You took
texted-
the dog.
Shannon texted me
Just
Sunday morning.
Don't try to. We're not. You have to understand something, Miss Gladstone. We're not equals here. When I start to talk, you have to stop. I ask questions. I hope that you are taking in what I'm telling you. I'm a dog owner. I'm a dog owner who never lets their dog go someplace else overnight. Just not my thing. The dogs go with me where I go, especially a new puppy with IBS problems. Okay, you came home on the 25th and took the dog to the vet on the 26th. What time did you pick the dog up on the 25th?
I picked him up in the evening from Shannon's
What
house.
time?
I would say it was
What
about
time?
7 p.m.
7
p.m., Your Honor.
Okay, and what time did you take the dog to the vet on the 26th?
7 a.m.
And when did the dog have surgery? Report.
That's one piece of it. I have another.
Just a second. Shh. Just a second. Did the doctor give you what they had taken out?
Yes.
I'd like to see it.
It's a rubber ball.
Oh, it's part of a rubber ball. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Miss Bishop,
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you ever seen that before?
No. This is actually the first time I've gotten to see the evidence.
It's like a sponge ball.
I am so diligent about what toys I buy for the dogs that come to my house. I do not use balls small enough that dogs can tear them apart. I don't use...
No, that looks like a bigger ball.
This is
it
the
looks
same
like a bigger
size.
ball, but just a piece of it. Is that what it looks like?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you're not angry with her, why would you post anything negative?
I'm angry because I took the dog and realized he was not well and needed to be treated immediately.
So why didn't you take him immediately?
Her dog swallowed a foreign object while in the care of dog daycare owner Shannon Bishop.
Okay, I gather, Ms. Gladstone, from this report that I just read the following things. Dr. Liz said that discussed that foreign object most likely consumed within 24 hours of onset of clinical signs. Now, you went away on the 23rd. When did you speak to the defendant when she first reported to you that the dog was lethargic?
10:25 on Sunday at 11:40, she texted me that Bingo had thrown up 3 times over the backyard, his breakfast, and asked if he does that often.
That was on Sunday.
At 11:40.
That was the day you were coming home.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time she had told you.
Yes.
He had
And
no
you would drop
symptoms.
the dog off.
He had no symptoms up until throwing up. He was playing Friday and Saturday like there was not a care in the world.
Right, so the...
Okay. According to this doctor,
Correct.
the object was probably ingested within 24 hours of the onset of the problem, which means, Miss Bishop, that the dog was in your care when the Gladstone, since October, a month has passed since his surgery. How has he been?
Oh, when he recovered from the surgery, he's fabulous. He's on
How is
medication. He's on medication to control all of it.
Miss Gladstone, the defendant, based upon what I'm reading, may or may not be partially responsible, but you seem to think that it was as a result of her negligence.
Right, and I will tell you why.
But this is somebody that not only you and all of your friends used consistently for daycare and for overnight care. So if, when playing with a rubber ball, the dog playfully pulled it apart and ate a piece of that, that was the first time the dog was sick in her care, and according to you, it had been on play dates and daycare without overnights and at least 3 overnight visits, 1 for 5 days. So this isn't somebody who's a negligent person. Otherwise, you would be a stupid person to let your dog go to stay with her again at least twice overnight and multiple times during the day. You seem to be angry with her.
I'm not at all angry.
Well, if you're not angry and if you understand that she runs a business that you were satisfied with for many months and that the Pico in Palm Springs, according to your vet, every other weekend, that's according to your vet, that he's taken care of by various sitters when you're out of town, which is frequently. You use her, and if you're not angry with her, explain the posts that you put up about her. You don't know how long that object had been in your dog. Your vet said probably ingested within 24 hours of the onset of the illness. She advised you at 11:40, not even 48 hours after you left the dog with her, that the dog was vomiting, was lethargic. It's possible that the dog ate something in her house. What I'm asking you is, if you're not angry with her, because you seem so angry with her.
I mean, look, it's an unfortunate situation. I was very happy with Shannon's care. I had suspicions about flare-ups in his IBS.
Okay.
I took the dog and realized he was not well and needed to be taken, treated immediately.
So why didn't you take him immediately?
It was late by the time we got him home, assessed him, tried to figure out what course of action to do because his vet was closed. And we thought, you know what? He's exhausted. He looks like he could sleep. We had spoken to the medical facility and they said, you most likely can bring him to our vet. And she diagnosed him and and said he needed to be transported immediately for trauma.
Just a second. You picked up the dog, and the dog appeared to be sick. You said he wasn't himself. We were very worried. He had been throwing up, and he looked awful. My dog, at 7 o'clock at night, I would have taken him to an emergency vet. That's what I would have done.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
But when you are in a service business and somebody is dissatisfied, they are entitled to communicate with their friends her opinion. That doesn't mean that I, in a legal sense, believe you're responsible for what happened to her dog.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lori Gladstone says dog daycare owner Shannon Bishop owes for vet bills after Lori's dog swallowed a foreign object while in Shannon's care.
Okay. May I see what she wrote about you on the internet?
These were Facebook posts, some of them. I've highlighted some of them. Not even money will make this okay.
I've never mentioned her name once. Never mentioned her name.
Just a second. I'm just reading it. It was clearly not supervised. Well, that's your opinion. She's allowed to say that. Okay. Ms. Bishop, I'm going to address your counterclaim.
Okay.
I'm dismissing your counterclaim. I'm dismissing your counterclaim because she is clearly someone who was angry and upset. Her dog was sick. She probably almost lost the dog. She's clearly attached to the dog. She's never had an animal before. She leaves the dog with other people when they go away. And the dog is a dog that has its own problems and had its own problems from probably a very young age, who probably this exacerbated ingesting something in whosever care it was, who, when he ingested it, probably exacerbated a pre-existing condition.
Certainly.
She was upset.
Certainly.
And she was venting to friends and neighbors. I'm sorry that you had people cancel
The
on you,
problem
but
with that is 90% of my business is referral and word of mouth. I only have my reputation to go on. So when this being thrown through the mud through people who know me and could possibly potential customers, that's a problem for me.
That's always true. But when you are in a service business and somebody is dissatisfied, they are entitled to communicate with their friends of her opinion. That doesn't mean that I, in a legal sense, believe you're responsible for what happened to her dog.
Closed captioning sponsored by. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Okay. She left her dog with you for 48 hours. Within that period of time, the dog developed symptoms that she said hadn't happened before. Well, she came home, and what she didn't do the night that she came home is she went to sleep, put the dog to sleep until the next morning. And if your dog is that sick, then if you are a dog person, which you're becoming, you take the dog to an emergency facility if you think that it's a life-threatening situation. That's what you do.
I didn't hear it was life-threatening.
I can't. Well, if you didn't think that it was life-threatening, why would you think that she would think it's life-threatening?
Because she's a professional, and I didn't realize he was throwing up all day. I just wanted to know.
I don't understand. I actually don't think you should have an animal. Actually. I think that you have a certain lifestyle, and your lifestyle is inconsistent with caring for an animal that's going to be sick probably and be on medication forever.
Well, that's not what the doctor wrote in her report. The doctor.
Anyway, your case is dismissed. We're finished. We're done.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy, a trucker takes a spin with the company credit card.
The refrigerator trailer.
That I think that you're a thief.
Judge Judy.
This dog is a part of our life. It's our family.
I was not negligent. I am so careful about how I care for those dogs like they're my own.
You know, we're just happy Bingo's back and healthy, and, you know, we can move on.
He's a super cute dog. He's a handful, but I'm glad he's okay.
I just want to know what kind of a nasty guy he is.
His lying was a big problem.
Did you ever live together?
No.
It was my apartment. He moved in with me.
Then his cheating was exposed.
He was still involved with Claudia.
She reached out to me, came to find out that, he was lying to the both of us.
Couldn't you tell who he was?
Yeah, I fell for the sweet nothings.
This is Judge Judy. Randa Ramia is suing her ex-boyfriend, Adrian Astorga, for unpaid loans to help his business.
Judge, this is case number 26 on the calendar in the matter of Ramia versus Astorga. Both parties have been sworn in, Your Honor.
Mr. Astorga, I'm going to start with you. How did you hurt your arm?
Work accident. I broke in a work accident.
When? Fell off a tree?
No, a log. We were rigging and it came back and hit my arm.
You have children. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
2.
How old are they?
11 and 2.
And what's their mother's first name?
Claudia.
If you have 2 children who are 11 and 2, Claudia and the 2 children's, their parents are the same. So you and Claudia have 2 children.
No, it's 2 different.
So you have 2 children with 2 different ladies.
Yes.
What is the 2-year-old's mother's name?
Claudia.
And what is the 11-year-old's mother's name?
Andrea.
Which one do you live with now?
Claudia.
For how long have you been living with Claudia?
2 years.
Did you start living together while she was pregnant or before?
While she was pregnant.
You lived with her during the child's birth?
Yes.
And continuously until now?
Yes.
So I'd like you to explain to me, sir, how you managed Miss Ramea. Explain that to me.
I used to work for her dad.
Well, that doesn't make you funny. That makes you an idiot. I mean, it's not funny. You used to work for her father in what?
Carpet cleaning.
And when did you stop working for him in carpet cleaning?
About a month after I started.
And what did you start to do then?
Got into the tree service.
When did you start seeing the plaintiff socially?
We've been on and off.
For how long?
I want to say 4.
Started to work for her father while you were dating her.
No, we weren't dating. I met her working for the dad, but I didn't know that she was the daughter of the owner.
So when you say you've been dating on and off for 4 or 5 years, did you ever live together?
No.
Did you ever stay at her home for a period of more than 3 days?
No.
Is that correct?
We moved in together last year, September,
September of 2019? Where did you move in together?
into an apartment.
Did you both sign the lease?
No, it was my apartment. He moved in with me. I had already had a lease.
Let's deal with it. Let's answer my questions directly. You didn't move in together. He moved in with you in September of 2019.
Correct.
Was he there on a full-time basis?
Yes.
7 days a week?
Yes.
Your lawsuit is about money that you allege he owes you as a result of using your credit cards to start a business in July of this year.
That's correct. And that was for the insurance.
That's in this year.
Yes.
At that time, he had, according to you, been living with you continuously since September 2019.
That's correct.
And he used your credit card. That's what this is all about. He used your credit card, and he bought a whole bunch of things for his business. He thinks this is all funny. I have to tell you something, sir. She may see what is appealing about you. Me, point, you found out that he was still involved with Claudia.
Correct.
Tell me how you found out he was still involved with Claudia.
Well, she reached out to me.
And when?
I want to say in May of this year.
How did she reach out to you?
She sent me a letter by Yelp.
Do you have it?
Yes.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it.
Well, I have a text message where she's asking me to meet with her in person.
I would like to see the letter she sent to you.
Sure. Let me find it. I'm sorry. You think it's okay to contact my fiance? What kind of woman are you going after someone who is engaged? This is the second time your thirsty gets involved in our relationship. Do I really have to keep going?
Yes.
When he was living with you, we were still together. He used your car to come to my house. You have to email him to talk to him. Does that tell you something is up? You're stupid. When he made you wait at Starbucks and left you there because he was on the phone with me, you want him so badly, you can have him. Get something straight. You will never be first. I'm dumping his cheating, but you will never take my place. He will never love you. You're just some chick he's trying to use to pass time. You will never take my place.
Okay. So then you met her in person.
Yes.
Now, what had Prince Charming told you about his relationship with Claudia?
He was keeping
You knew he
it.
had a child.
Yeah. He was keeping it civil between the two. Wanted to spend time with his kid. He felt that if she knew about our relationship, she would probably hold the child from him spending time with him.
So that's the reason he gave you for not introducing you to the child,
Yeah.
I assume.
Well, I met the kid.
Where?
We took him to a pumpkin patch.
When? That must have been
Halloween.
sometime in the fall of...
Around Halloween.
So he was about a year old then?
About, yeah.
Too young to tell the story.
Right.
Right. You started to say that you made an appointment to meet Claudia.
No, we
I just want to know what kind of a nasty guy he is. I'm just trying to figure it out.
That's okay. Well, we did meet in person. She was more cordial then. We talked about it, and it came to find out that, yeah, he was lying to the both of us.
Right. Does he ever see his 11-year-old child?
Yes.
Is that a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Does he have visitation with that child?
I believe so.
Did you ever meet that child?
No.
Do you know why he left your father's business?
So that he can go into the tree business, because carpet cleaning really wasn't what he wanted to do.
Wasn't his dream job.
Correct.
Doing trees and breaking his arm is his dream job.
I guess it's a lucrative business.
I'd like you to tell me, according to you, he moved in with you in September of 2019, and he lived with you.
Yes.
There had to be some periods of time.
Didn't really know that they lived together until me and her actually met. And she had told me that there was moments that they were living together.
You mean periods of time when he wouldn't come home, that there would be a reason that he wouldn't come?
No, he came home every day.
He can't be sleeping in.
No, he came
can't
home
be
every
sleeping
day.
in two places.
He came home every
He
day.
did?
Yeah.
Well, then, is Claudia missing a few? She didn't realize he wasn't there for almost a year and a half?
Well, while he was living with me, he wasn't living with Claudia. Claudia was living with her mother. And apparently, from what she understood, is that he was living with a coworker, and I was just a sister.
Is that what you told her,
No.
sir?
No.
No. Well, how did you explain this living with somebody else
I wasn't living with her.
to Claudia?
I was living with Claudia.
You weren't living with her. You were living with Claudia. So she's psychotic. Is that
A little
what
bit.
Now, how did you get possession of her credit card?
I didn't. She made payment. Yeah.
What?
I didn't.
You have to be very careful. Yeah, you have. So you never charged anything on her credit card?
Not physically.
Is what you're
no.
saying?
Yes.
What do you mean not physically? You
Yeah,
mean
I've never
emotionally?
used the card.
You tried.
I've never
you
used the
charged,
card.
You've never bought anything for yourself using her credit card.
No, I didn't.
Explain how that happened.
Well, I have evidence.
Yes.
I mean, I can show you.
Well, how did he
I
use
handed the credit
your
card.
credit card?
I handed the credit card into his hand. It was in April. That was for the insurance for his company that I have here.
And how much was that for?
That one was for $3,100, and then there was
Okay, it's just a
Go ahead.
Explain that to me. $3,100 for your insurance. Explain it.
She paid it
It was
using.
paid by her credit card.
Yeah, by her.
Well, how did you do that? You said to her, this is my insurance payment.
Yeah.
Can you pay it with your credit card?
Right. I mean, at
Now,
that
I want you to tell me how it
at
happened.
that time, I was short on money, and she insisted to pay for it, and I told her
No, not insistent. I want physically. Physically. Sir.
Your question.
Physically, not emotionally.
Your question is.
My question is, how did the insurance get paid? Did you hand her
She paid for it. She
the
paid
bill? No. Something wrong with you.
Yeah, I didn't.
Did you hand her the bill?
No, she made the payment herself using her card.
How could she do that? She took out a crystal ball and said, "This is about what the insurance payment is."
She
and I'm gonna figure out where.
She processed the payment online using her credit card.
How did she know to whom to make the payment? Follow my words. How did she know to whom to make the payment?
Because she knows. We talk. She was insisting to pay as in.
Of course it was. How did she know the name to whom to make the payment?
The company name?
Yes, the company name.
I mean, she knows it, but she knows everything about. We talk, so she knows the name of the company. She knows everything.
How did she know the amount?
Well, when the payment comes up on the tells you how much to pay, it tells you right there how much to pay. She paid that amount.
No, it wouldn't come up on her machine because it wasn't her business.
Yeah, she did it.
It would come up.
She paid. Yeah, she did. She went online to a state compensation.
What an idiot. No, that would be you.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
You have to hear me. I mean, if I had a little more time, or if I was not as nice a person as I am, it would be my joy to continue to torture him.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
There was a collision with the plaintiff's car.
Yes.
You wanted a parking space that badly. You jumped in front of him, nasty, but you found a parking space, and instead of looking and making sure, you threw your car into reverse so that you could make the turn and get the space. Nasty.
Randa Ramia says ex-boy charges she made on behalf of his business.
Now, if I had a little more time, or if I was not as nice a person as I am. It would be my joy to continue to torture him. But tape is very expensive. And CBS doesn't like to pay for tape just to see me humiliate somebody. I mean, couldn't you tell who he was?
Yeah, I fell for the sweet nothings.
No, you fell for it.
I fell for the sweet nothings.
If you fell for it, my dear, you have to pay for it. Because there's no question in my mind that this wasn't a loan.
No, it wasn't
There's
a loan.
no question in my mind that this wasn't a loan.
This was a loan.
No way.
No, this was a loan.
No.
And he was paying me back.
No.
I have proof of him paying me back. He was paying me back. I have it here. He started it back in March. He paid me back $500. It was an absolute loan. In July, he paid me $900. I even have an email where I was actually trying to figure it out because right before we broke up, he had 2 jobs lined up and he had agreed that he was going to pay me $1,000 from that money.
That's great. If you had a loan agreement, I would say I would take a look at it.
Well,
I'm making a ruling now. Listen, if women want to be stupid and give men money.
No, it's not. It wasn't about being stupid or giving anybody money.
They've been stupid forever. You gave him money because you figured you were going to be together. That's why you gave him money. It was his business. He left your father because it wasn't something that he wanted to do. He didn't want. Yeah, goodbye. We're done. Thank you. Your case is dismissed. We're done. Bye.
This case is concluded. Parties may step out.
It was definitely a loan.
Shaggy said it wasn't me.
He was paying me back. It wasn't me just giving him money.
To be at 2 places at the same time.
I tried. I sent him 4 emails and I never got anything back, so.
It was a gift.
I'm not a priority. He was probably going to pay me back at some point.
It's a future investment in the relationship.
It's just not pertinent.
Don't do it again.
All parties in the matter of Jimenez versus Robles. Approach the podium, please.
Eric Jimenez is suing fellow motorist Melinda Robles for an accident in a shopping center parking lot.
This was an auto accident that occurred on the 22nd of July of this year. Is that correct, Mr. Jimenez?
That's correct.
And from what I gather from both your complaint and Ms. Robles, from your answer, you were both looking for a parking space in a parking lot.
Right.
Right. What kind of car were you driving, Mr. Jimenez?
I was driving a 2014 Honda Civic EX 4-door.
And what kind of car were you driving, Ms. Robles?
It's a 2001 Chrysler Town & Country.
So it's a big car.
Right.
Now, on the 22nd of July of this year, Mr. Jimenez, did you have automobile insurance on your car?
I did.
So on the 22nd of July of this year, did you have automobile insurance that was in effect?
Yes, I do.
That's a yes or a no?
Yes.
With what company?
With Fred Lawyers Insurance.
You have those papers to show me that you had insurance coverage on the 22nd?
Yes.
I'd like to see them. Now, Mr. Jimenez, did you try to contact Ms. Robles' insurance company?
I did.
Can you tell me what happened when you tried to contact her insurance company?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I saw her rear lights come up, and it looks like she floored it, and she was heading towards my car, and that's when I started honking. I even put my window down to, trying to stop. But obviously she didn't see me, and she hit my front fender.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Eric Jimenez says fellow motorist Melinda Robles backed into him in a shopping center parking lot.
Now, can you tell me what happened when you tried to contact her insurance company?
Yes, ma'am. I actually contacted my insurance first, but unfortunately, because the damages didn't exceed my deductible, which was $1,000, her company, Fred Lawyers Insurance.
Well, tell them.
Right. So I called.
I gathered that.
I called her insurance company, and I went ahead and gave my statements to the representative from her company. And about 2 weeks after the initial call, her adjuster called me and said, due to the fact that Ms. Robles had stated to them that she wasn't at fault, her adjuster stated, we're going to take our client's word and we're going to decline your damages.
Fine. Okay. The reason I'm asking that question is because it seems to me the damages, as you indicate in your complaint, was $719. That's what it cost to fix your car.
That's correct.
And so you were out of pocket that $719.
That's
I
correct.
just wanted to make certain that we're not here because somebody didn't have insurance on that day.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you were looking for a parking space.
That's
on the
correct.
22nd. About what time, Mr. Jimenez?
I would have to say around noon 12 o'clock.
And when you saw the defendant for the first time, can you tell me where she was?
When I seen her for the first time, she cut me off abruptly.
She came around you.
Correct, to get a parking spot. Yes, ma'am.
She came around you.
That's
so
correct.
you're both going relatively slowly in a parking lot. And the first time you saw her, she went around and got in front of you.
That's correct.
And
Spot, but due to the fact that there was another car facing us, she didn't know, but that
coming
car...
from the opposite direction.
Correct. That car took that parking spot. So neither her nor I
scooted
got
into
it.
that parking spot.
Correct.
So now she's in front of you.
That's correct.
And then what happened?
So she started making a right turn into another parking aisle, still an aisle.
An aisle, not a spot.
Nope, an aisle. As soon as she turned right, I was right behind her. There was a stop sign. I looked both ways, make sure I had a clear sign. I continued to make the same right she made, and as I was making a right, I saw her rear lights come up, and it looks like she floored it, and she was heading towards me, to my car, and that's when I started honking. I even put my window down to start, trying to stop. But obviously she didn't see me, and she hit my front fender.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, Mr. Jimenez.
Yes, ma'am.
Would I be correct that when you got out of the car and she got out of the car,
right,
was there a parking space available? Yes, well, that's what she says.
Right.
That there was a parking space available.
Right.
That's what you said in your answer.
Yes.
Is that right, Ms. Robles?
Yes.
And so what you did, according to you, was since you had a very big car, you needed to make a wider turn.
Right.
Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's not what you say. That's what I'm saying. But you needed to make a wider turn. And in order to do that, you had to back up your car a little bit.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. And when you backed up your car a little bit, there was a collision with the plaintiff's car.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Well, you have to pay him $719. That's what happened. You didn't see it. You wanted a parking space that badly. You jumped in front of him, nasty, but you found a parking space, and instead of looking and making sure, you threw your car into reverse so that you could make the turn and get the space. Nasty. Cost you $719. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Ma'am, Judge,
you.
I'm also suing for lost wages.
You also,
I'm
I
also
saw
suing
that.
for lost wages.
We're done. 700. I heard you. I heard you. I'm ignoring you.
Copy.
$719. Got it?
Got it.
Copy. Perfect. Thank you.
Concluded. Parties are excused.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Both checks bounced.
Yes.
Can you not say the word bounced?
They were bounced. You knew that there were insufficient...
Judge Judy.
I think she's seen through the lies that Ms. Robles was trying to, cop out.
He did tell lies. I was in the right of way because I was going first.
Not really a sense of urgency. It's just that I had to go to work.
And then he was coming out of a thing, going to make a right turn. So
due to the pandemic that was going on, I had to make sure I was stocked up on toilet paper and essential things that I needed to get.
He even told me he's seen me backing up. But my question is, why didn't you back up as well if you know I didn't hear you?
And I needed to get my groceries done ASAP, so...
Your horn, But that's okay,
Oh, wow. She started laughing uncontrollably.
No, I've never laughed. I'm not that type of person. I was more scared because I didn't know.
And it kind of threw me off.
What was going to happen, I'm not like that.
I'm glad that... once again, Judge Judy saw through her, through the lies that she was trying to put.
And now I could just get on with my life now.
And now I'm glad everything worked out for both of us.
Her car was totaled. She ended up in the hospital. She was in physical therapy for a long time.
The crash had question marks.
Yes, ma'am. There was insurance on it.
If not, I'm going to make you look so ridiculous.
There was no insurance on it.
And a driver won't yield.
I took responsibility for the car.
You took responsibility because the accident was your fault.
This is Judge Judy. Sharice Riley is suing fellow motorist Zero Leva for running into her car when he ran a red light.
Judge, this is case number 65 on the calendar in the matter of Riley versus Leva. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am.
Miss Riley, whose car were you driving on the night of this accident?
It was my car.
What kind of car was it?
It was a 2011 Nissan Altima.
Did you have insurance on the car on the night of the accident?
Yes.
You had liability insurance.
Liability.
Not collision.
I believe so.
Well, the insurance company didn't pay you for your car.
Not the car, but my bodily injuries, yes.
How much did your insurance company pay you for your injuries?
$5,000.
Did you have a lawyer or did you just settle with them?
I had gotten a lawyer.
Mr. Leyva, whose car were you driving on September 11th, 2019?
It was a coworker of mine. I was trying to buy the car the next day.
Don't tell me what you were going to do, what you should have done. Whose car was it?
It was a coworker of mine.
And your coworker didn't have insurance on the car. The insurance.
Yeah, it's on the... Of course. I believe the insurance is right here, underneath on the police report. It's AAA insurance, and then the policy number is right here as stated.
Did you try to contact his insurance company?
My insurance did, and so did my lawyer.
And what was the result of that?
They both said that there was no insurance on it.
I'm going to call up her lawyer, sir. That's very easy for me to do. Do you understand, Mr. Leyva?
Yes, ma'am.
This is not going to be easy. Was there insurance on the car?
Yes, there was, ma'am.
On the date of this? Fine. If not, I'm going to make you look so ridiculous because you know whether or not there was paid insurance on this car that was a valid insurance policy. You know that because she was taken to the hospital and she had a lawyer and they couldn't use the insurance on that car because it was not valid at the time, either because your coworker didn't pay the premium or whatever.
I bought the car the next day after the accident, ma'am. I took responsibility for the car. I mean,
just a second, that's not my question. Mr. Leyva, you bought the car the next day. On the day that you drove it that night, was there insurance on it?
Yes, ma'am, there was insurance on it.
Not the day you bought it.
No.
The day of the accident.
Yes, there was insurance on the car the day of the accident.
Okay.
It's actually in my phone, if I could get it from my phone.
Yes, sure. Absolutely.
Her name is Jennifer, and the number is 424.
Jennifer what?
I'm not sure of her last name.
How did you get this lawyer?
I have the Jacoby and Myers papers. They're right here.
It was through Jacoby and Myers?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get a letter from Jacoby and Myers indicating that they had no insurance?
No. They had called me through everything and had told me that he did not have insurance.
Doesn't answer the phone. Yeah, there's no question, Mr. Leyva, that there was no insurance on your car. You have a counterclaim. That's how I know there was no insurance on your car, because your counterclaim owes me the value of the car, which you didn't own, according to you, the night that it was in an accident. You did sign the counterclaim, did you not?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were stupid enough to buy a car that was totaled? Is that what you're telling me? You bought a car the next day, which is what you just told me, that you bought the car the next day, and you're countersuing because you say that, but you bought it the next day.
Yeah, I bought it the next day because my wife and I were originally planning on getting this car. However, we got into this car accident.
You and your wife's not here, right?
No, she's at home taking care of the baby.
Yeah, listen, the two of you idiots, according to you, went out late at night with an 8-month-old baby.
No, it was just me.
Just a second. You went out, according to you, according to your statement, you and your idiot wife went out late at night to a gas station because you had to buy distilled water for your baby. Well, a normal person, a person with a half a brain, late at night, if they needed distilled water for the baby, the wife stays home with the 8-month-old baby, and the husband goes and gets distilled water, if that's what you were going for.
Yeah.
Late at night with an 8-month-old baby.
Yeah, I went by myself. She wasn't in the car with me, nor was my child in there. It's right here on the police report. It's literally just me in the car. And I went because that's the only car that I had at the time. And I'm the husband, I provide. So I went out late at night to get the distilled water.
You said that the car was undrivable after this, Mr. Leyva. It was undrivable. It was totally taken off the axle. So what I'm asking you is, why did you buy it the next day?
Because the agreement with me and the coworker was to buy the car. Originally, I took it out that night for a test drive.
You know, I don't believe a word you're saying to me.
That's literally how it happened. I'm sorry.
Exactly
I'm sorry if you feel like I'm an idiot, but it's just that's how it was.
Well,
literally, we had an agreement to test drive the car, and I bought it the next day. I could have easily been like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not buying this car. It's totaled." But I took responsibilities for that, my actions, and bought the car off of my coworker.
You took responsibility because the accident was your fault.
It wasn't my fault. I'm sorry. It's on the police report. It says nobody at fault.
Listen to me, Mr. Leyva, somebody has to be responsible. I have a feeling that the person responsible for this is the person that had no insurance because she ended up in the hospital with 3 dislocated discs. She was in physical therapy for a long time. Her car was totaled. And according to you, you bought your car the next day. So I do have a problem, sir. And if you can't see why anybody who sits on this side of the bench would have a problem with your story of buying a totaled car the next day when, according to you, there was insurance on the car, which could have paid to have the car either repaired or paid for something, and you paid for it the next day, I just don't buy it. Unless the accident was your fault and you felt responsible. And there wasn't insurance, so you paid the coworker anyway, which I'm not so sure of. Anyway, you were at a 4-way intersection. Take it from there, Miss Riley.
The east and west had turned green, so I was waiting for my turn. Once the left turn signal turned green, I had went when I was halfway in between the intersection and where I was turning into. That is when we had collided.
And what collided with what?
He had collided with me. There's a diagram right here of me turning, and he had gone through and hit me. My car had been right on this side, while his car was where my car was turning.
What hospital were you taken to?
I was taken to Desert Valley Hospital.
Were you taken by ambulance?
Yes.
Did you stay there?
I was there for a couple of hours, and then they had released me.
Do you have the report from the hospital?
I do have the hospital papers.
I'd like to see it. Okay, now I want to see the police report. Is there a second page to this police report?
Yes.
What does that mean, special information, cell phone in use? Was anybody using a cell phone?
No.
No.
No, that's totally useless. Anyway, you received 5 that you had, pain and suffering. So what you're suing for now is the value of your car. Did you have the car fixed or was it totaled?
No, it's still totaled in my driveway.
Did you get an estimate to fix it?
I didn't.
Okay.
I do have pictures of them.
I'd like to see it.
Here's a picture of it on this side.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, he hit you in the back. Got it. Do we have a value of a 2011 Nissan Altima? I tried to get it, but what is it? Yeah, got it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Thank you. We're finished.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
I think it was a good decision. I even have papers in here that...
She's turning in front of me and I was going straight forward. But I mean, she's the judge. She knows the law. And I mean...
My insurance had claimed that it was 100% his fault.
That's her interpretation of it. So I have no argument against her decision.
He even told me that it was my fault. Don't call the police. I'll give you cash.
It happened to happen, and I'm glad it's done. And it took about a year.
I'm hoping it's time to get my car fixed.
All parties in the matter of Vera versus Hardman. Step to the podium, please.
Carmen Vera Melgar is suing her ex-boyfriend, Michael Hardman, for an unpaid loan to pay his rent.
Vera Melgar, how long were you and Mr. Hardman dating?
A year and a half.
Did you ever live together?
No. I would stay in his house and he would stay in mine.
This is about a loan that you allegedly made to him. Mr. Hardman says there was never a loan. You did things to help each other out. He helped you out. You helped him out. He acknowledges that you gave him a little bit of money, nothing close to what you say you gave him. While you were together, while you were dating, did you buy a car?
No.
Did you buy a car?
No, no.
So he never co-signed for a loan for you?
He did, but not for a car.
For what?
To take my car out of the impound because they impounded my car at his complex. Oh, no, that's different.
Just a second. So he paid to get your car out of impound?
No.
he co-signed for you to get your car out of impound?
No. It's 2 different times that I asked for that loan. When he co-signed, it was for my tuition for school. He never made a payment.
He co-signed for your tuition.
He never made a payment.
I didn't ask you whether he made a payment. I asked you whether he co-signed for a loan for you.
He did.
The answer would be yes.
Yes.
When did he co-sign for a loan for you?
August, September 2019.
And it was for that semester?
Fall semester.
Did you pay for the fall semester?
I
or
did.
You haven't paid it back yet?
I paid.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, tell me, what other time he helped you out financially?
Never. He didn't help me.
Now tell me when you gave him money when he lost his job.
I let him borrow money. I did not give him money.
When? When?
It was a period from February 2019 to April 2019.
So February, March, and April, over a 3-month period.
Correct.
So you didn't give him money in one lump sum. It was different amounts of money for the 3 months.
Correct, when he was unemployed.
Okay. And how much did you give him in February?
Do you want to see the bank statements? I didn't add up by the month. I added them up.
I want you to tell me what you gave him in February.
I don't know.
You said you didn't give it to him in one lump sum.
No, altogether, it's over $3,000. I don't know exact.
No, exact is what I deal with.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
These are dates. He asked me for money.
When you went to a restaurant?
Yeah, when we went out.
I'm not getting involved in
I
that.
wasn't going to ask for it, but he's wants to charge me for dates.
I don't. What's next? And you're trying my patience.
Gar says ex-boyfriend Michael Hartman owes for a loan.
Now, I want you to tell me what you gave him in February.
I don't know.
You said you didn't give it to him in one lump sum.
No, altogether, it's over $3,000. I don't know exact.
No, exact is what I deal with. If you didn't give him money over in a specific time, you said he knew you were getting your tax returns. I'm reading your complaint. Your complaint said he knew you were getting a refund from your tax returns, and in the beginning, I loaned him $3,500 for his rent, motorcycle bill, and utilities. That's what you say. Now you tell me that it wasn't $3,500. You gave him money, or you say loaned him money, over a period of time, February, March, and April.
It's an estimate.
And I want to know how much money it was in February. I mean, did you keep a ledger? Did you keep a notebook? Did you keep a something?
My bank statements.
Well, I'd like to see them. I would like to see your bank statements for February. And point out, in February,
that's my
just
tax
show
refund?
me what, no, there's your tax refund. I want you to show me what you gave him in February.
Registration, rent.
No, you're just pointing to things.
You want me to add it up?
No, I want you to tell me from your bank state bills that you paid.
This $500 is for rent.
Which one? Just
Rent.
a second. Just a second. So what you're telling me is on February 22nd, pay attention.
I am.
What you're telling me is on February 22nd, you withdrew $500 that you're ascribing that you gave to him.
Correct.
You say it's for rent. That doesn't say it's for rent.
It doesn't.
All that says is that you withdrew from your bank $500. What else do you ascribe to him?
These payments are for his motorcycle.
What is that? Okay.
Motorcycle
Card purchases,
payments.
that?
Or parts
Just
for
a
his
second.
motorcycle.
PayPal, Gums Motors, card $99.99. Is that your motorcycle, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she also in February give you $500 in cash?
No, ma'am, I do not recall.
Okay, let's move on. We have $100 for the motorcycle. What else is on that you would ascribe to him?
These are dates. He asked me for money. He was going to pay me back.
When you went to a restaurant?
Yeah, when we went out.
I'm not getting involved in
I
that.
wasn't going to
What
ask
else?
for it, but he wants to charge me for dates.
I don't care. Listen to me. I'm not getting involved in that, madam. Courts don't get involved in that.
Good.
What else is on this list?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did she transfer money to you, $200 in April?
No, ma'am, I don't recall that.
Is that your first name, Mr. Hardman, Rashad?
No, ma'am, that's my middle name.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carmen Vera Melgar says ex-boyfriend Michael Hartman owes for a loan.
Listen to me. I'm not getting involved in that, madam. Courts don't get involved in that.
Good.
What else is on this list? So far, we have his motorcycle payment of $100.
The gym I paid for.
Okay, is that your gym membership?
His.
Yes, ma'am. I
Sir.
added her to our gym
You
membership.
added her to your gym.
Yes, ma'am. And I do
Next. Keep going. Keep going.
The Palm Avenue, Imperial Beach, the money I take out, it's for him, for his rent.
That's 2 payments of $500.
Yeah, he was
You have one
unemployed
payment
for
on
a
the
long
22nd
time.
and one. Hey, madam, you have to understand, courts don't get involved in this kind of nonsense when 2 people are dating with each other and they're intertwining money. So far, I have $100 for his motorcycle payment. Keep going. That's February. Let's go to March.
Hold on.
What is card purchase? Cox, what is that?
His bill.
For what?
For his internet bill.
Did she pay your internet bill, sir, for Cox?
Yes, ma'am.
I absolutely hate to do that. That's $181. Okay, let's go to February.
His motorcycle payment.
That's a second motorcycle payment in February. Where is that?
This is his motorcycle payment. This is another one for $300.
No.
The previous one was a part for his motorcycle. This is the motorcycle note.
Oh, got it. Okay. So the previous one was not his motorcycle payment, the $100. It was a part. Do you remember she paid for a part for your motorcycle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And your motorcycle payment was to Landmark Financial?
Yes, ma'am.
$507 and $300. Okay, let's go to March.
So this is his electric bill as well, $201. And this is another
Was
payment.
that your electric bill? Did she pay your electric bill, sir, in
No,
February?
ma'am. I don't recall that.
I lived in TJ, so that's not my bill.
Let's go. Next March. Let's go March.
Oh, I got April.
So nothing in March.
Yes, but they're dates, so you said no. This is more money I transferred to him that he asked me.
Did she transfer money to you, $200 in April?
No, ma'am. I don't recall that.
That's your name.
Okay. Where?
There, Rashad.
Where is his name?
In orange.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Did she transfer money to you, $200 in April?
No, ma'am. I don't recall that.
That's your name.
Okay. Where?
There, Rashad.
Where is his name?
In orange.
Is that your first name, Mr. Hardman, Rashad?
No, ma'am. That's my middle name.
His name is Michael.
Michael Rashad.
I'm going to give her that, sir. Anything
Yes,
else, madam? So far, he owes you $1,288. What's next? And you're trying my patience.
It's money I took out.
Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. $1,288. And you're very, very lucky, madam. Don't give men any money anymore unless you get a note. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Goodbye.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
When somebody isn't telling me the truth, the hair on the back of my neck stands up. You can't come into court and think that the judge is stupid.
Next Judge Judy.
I thought she was very fair.
It's not fair.
I really don't feel like I owe her anything
He's agreeing that I let him borrow money for rent.
because we did share a gym membership.
I was trying to help him out, not to be in the street.
I paid to get up.
And we got into an argument.
And throughout time, I would help her.
He got kind of physical. He called the police, which are his neighbors, that people he knows.
It was all part of a relationship.